have those days where we are not feeling it, right? Whatever it is, we don't want anything to do with it. We've been out of bed for 20 minutes. Everything's going wrong. I want to crawl back in bed and forget that it ever happened. We've all had it. We've all been there. We've all done that. So what I want to do today is offer you guys something for absolutely 100% free that's not just this video. I've created a PDF called The Musician's 7-Day Mindset Reset. You can go to my website, bartrobley.com, or you can go to the description in the below. You'll see a link to the Musician 7-Day Mindset Reset for free on a platform called Gumroad. Gumroad is a place where you can download PDFs and stuff like that. Now, again, I promise you I'm not going to put you on a mailing list or sell your name. None of that stuff. It just go get it. Doesn't matter if you're a musician. Doesn't matter if you're a drummer. You know, all this stuff can apply to any of us. It's a human thing, right? It just so happens that what I do, I'm a professional musician. Now, I started this this playlist, Road Rash and Band-Aids, specifically for musicians who either are on tour or want to go on tour, younger musicians that are trying to come up, to kind of learn from my mistakes and to kind of learn from the things that I've accumulated over a 35-year career in the business, right? And what I found is that I've picked up a lot of coaching clients along the way that aren't necessarily musicians. They just, they want to learn from my experiences. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to break down kind of the 7-day thing and talk about it and some of the things that I've been through, and maybe it'll spark something within you. And it'll help you along the way. So the first one is reset the compass, why mindset matters. I think that's really important, right? Resetting the compass. I like to tell my students, my due north is. Sometimes what happens in life is circumstances happen. It can be anything. It can be you don't like your job. If you're a musician, you're in a band that you don't like. Maybe you're a musician and you're not really where you want to be as a musician, and you're having trouble making headway with your practice to get to where you want to be. We've all been there, right? And sometimes I think the things that hold us back is our mindset. We all have that one thing in common, no matter what you do in life, where you live, your gender, whatever, right? Doesn't matter. We all have that little voice in the back of our head, and that voice sometimes is whispering something to us. Sometimes it's yelling something to us. That's something negative. Something like, you're going to blow it. Why are you even trying to do this? Whatever it is, we've got to learn. There's two schools of thought. Recognize it and push it away. The other school of thought is beat it down. Whatever works for you, right? But we've got to learn to get that voice out of there and set our mindset in a positive direction, thinking in a positive mindset that this is where I want to go, right? I've been heading this way, but I'm going to reset the compass and I want to think positive towards that. If you think positive, you're going to attract positive, right? The laws of attraction, right? Look into that. Look into the laws of attraction. And really, it's very true. Whatever you focus on, that is where you are going to head, okay? The next one is from fixed to growth. Unlocking your potential. That's not that easy. You don't just wake up one day, okay, I'm done worrying about this. I'm going to fix it. And okay, now I fixed it. Now I'm going to grow and get better. No. What we have to do is you have to learn that whatever it is that's messing you up, maybe it's that voice in the back of your head, right? You've got to come up with a way when you hear that voice that's saying something negative or pulling you back to deal with it and fix it. And maybe just a little increment, just a little bit. Like, okay, I'm not going to listen to you right now, but I'm going to grow. Rather than listening to the voice and saying, okay, in my case, I'm a drummer, right? Listening to the voice that you can't play rhythmicus at 200 beats a minute. Now, rhythmicus just happened to be the first drumming rudiment that jumped into my head. You can't play rhythmicus at 200 beats a minute. No, but I can play them at 80. And today I'm going to work till I can get them to 83, right? It's those small little increments sometimes. And when you have that little increment. Well, I could play them at 80 when I started, but now I'm at 83 or I'm at 85. I have growth, right? you're kind of starting to see that you're unlocking your potential with that. Okay, I think that it's important to do that. The next one is clear the clutter, right? Clear the clutter, letting go of limited beliefs and old patterns. Man, I tell you what, limited beliefs and old patterns hold so many people down. And there are so many YouTube videos and so many great self-help books and everything like that. And let's go back to drumming, okay? My entire life, I've been around great drummers, right? Guys that I always aspired to be like, right? Well, let's think about that for a minute. Let's say it wasn't drumming. Let's say you wanted to be a great football player. And let's break it down even more. I talked about this in one of my videos last week. Let's say you want to be a great quarterback and you want to play for the NFL. And you started playing football when you were a little kid, 8 years old, POE football, all the way through high school. And I really want to be a great football player. Guess what? You're going to be around great football players. You're going to be around, you want to be a quarterback? You're going to be around great quarterbacks. You're going to be around the best in the world. If you make it to the NFL, man, you are going to be around the best of the best in the world, right? Well, as a drummer, I'm around all these amazing drummers all the time. Guys that I watch them play and I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, there's that limiting belief, okay? That limiting belief can jump into my head and say, well, you're not as good as, or that, or him, or her. Insert the drummer. That's a limiting belief. Maybe you struggle with that. Maybe you struggle with seeing your favorite musician, right? No matter what instrument you play. And you go, man, I just can't play like that person. No, but you can play like you. And that's important, right? One of my favorite drummers in the world, Dave Weckl, right? Another one of my favorite drummers in the world, Greg Bissonette. I watch those guys play, and sometimes I see those drummers, and I'm like, gosh, I can't play like that, but I can bring this to the table. What is it that I bring to the table as a drummer? What is it that I bring to the table as an educator? What is it that I bring to the table as a coach, right? For my clients, whether it be a coaching, I consider my drum lessons and being a drum teacher into the coaching thing, or just life coaching. You know, what do I bring to the table? How do I apply these things to my life and then apply them to you or apply them to another client? How do I do that? Okay. And a lot of that is by letting go of those limiting beliefs. Stop comparing. That's another big one. Stop comparing. I definitely put that into the limiting beliefs, because when you're comparing yourself to somebody, man, you're just kind of smashing yourself down. Okay. Design your daily habits and have momentum and motivation, right? I think that is so incredibly important, right? We've all, you know, if you've looked at my channel for a while, you've watched any self-help videos, what a lot of people talk about is creating a daily habit. Now, my daily habit, believe it or not, man, I'm a touring musician. I'm also a drum teacher. I'm an author. I'm all these different things, all these different hats that I have to wear to be a professional musician. I wear a lot of hats to make it happen. So a lot of times I'm up late, you know. I'll get home from a gig, or if I'm on tour, we'll get back to the hotel or the Airbnb, 2 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 in the morning, midnight, you know, it just depends on how far the drive is, what have you. And I'm pretty tired, but I'm up, man. Come 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm usually awake, and I get some exercise in. So I think the daily habit of having an exercise regime, like literally a physical exercise regime, is so important. And you may be thinking, well, you know, if you're on the road, how do you work out? Well, sometimes there's gyms around I can go to. Go military. Let's do some push-ups. Let's do some sit-ups. Let's do some lunges. Let's get our body in shape because believe it or not, that gets your brain going. I've never been a big breakfast eater, but I eat some protein in the morning, whether it's a piece of meat, some bacon and eggs, maybe have a protein shake, something just to get the cognitive things happening, get the brain working, have some protein. So set these habits, right, and build the habits. And usually, they say, I think it's statistically, it's something like, 30 days of something repetitive will build a habit. But I've found that, hey, man, if I've got to be up at 5 in the morning and I start learning to get up at 5 in the morning, my internal alarm just, boom, it just goes off, right? So I think that the other thing that is really important is to understand that you are your own best commodity. I've talked about that in past videos. You are the brand, right? You are your personal brand. Now, again, like I said, I listed off a minute ago all the things that I have to do to make my life work. But one of the things is that I am my own brand. I am my own best commodity, and you are your own brand, and you are your best commodity. Let's say you're a bass player. What commodity do you have other than just being able to play the bass well? Can you teach bass lessons? Can you make bass instructional videos? Can you write a book on how to play bass? Can you write articles, website stuff? Can you create things? Whatever it is, the sky's the limit. It's up to you what you want to do, but you are your best commodity. That being said, a minute ago at the top of the video, I talked about a Gumroad PDF that I'm reading off to you right now. You are your best commodity. Again, it's free. It's on Gumroad. I wrote a book this year that came out this year. Actually, I wrote it last year, but it came out this year, called Drum Up Your Business. Drum is an acronym for determination, relationships, understanding, and mentorship. Now, when I wrote the book, I've been a writer for many years. I found that as you're writing something, not everything makes the cut. It's like a movie. It's like a record. Not everything's going to make the final cut. So I just take these little bits and pieces and set them over here. And so because of that, I had this other entity at the time, I didn't even know what it was going to be, of snidbits, as I call them, that didn't make it to Drum Up Your Business. So I put them together into actually it's a book, and you can buy it either on Gumroad or you can buy it on Amazon. Links to those will be in the description below. And it is called You Are Your Best Commodity. And this is a PDF kind of worksheet. And it's a great thing. It's $9.99. If you want to buy that, again, go to the links in the description below to Gumroad or to Amazon. And it's $9. It's less than $10, depending on how you take your coffee. If you drink black coffee, then that's maybe 3 cups of coffee. If you drink a chewy, gooey, fatty waddy, then maybe it's 1. I don't know. But anyway, check it out. It's a great tool. And again, it's not just for musicians, right? It's a little bit of everything. Then this one's a big one, overcoming your fear, right? What's your fear? Is your fear stage fright? You're a musician, you got stage fright. It's something that a lot of musicians like that have successful careers deal with, stage fright. Is it public speaking? Do you want to be an educator? And maybe you want to, if you're a drummer like me, I'm a clinician. I go and I do drum clinics and I do master classes. So that means that I'm playing drums in a room full of drummers. Tell me that's not scary. Come on, that's definitely scary, right? But overcoming those fears, what are you afraid of? How do you get over those fears? And it can be anything. That's just the example that I deal with. But I'm telling you, if you are a drummer or a guitar player and you want to do clinics and you want to do master classes, you're going to have to overcome that fear. And there's a lot of ways to do that. This is a big broad brush in this, 15-minute video to do that. But it's, check that out. I think that if you check out You Are Your Best Commodity, there's a lot of things in there to overcome your fear. And then last but not least, keep going, right? Once you've built some momentum, you got a head of steam, right? This is a 7-day mindset reset. That doesn't mean, okay, I get to the 7th day and all of a sudden this, gold, pixie dust will fall on me and I'm a perfect person. No. You've got to reset. Do it again. Go back to day one and just start over. Whittling away at yourself. Man sharpens man like steel sharpens steel. And working on yourself as a human being is a daily thing, right? So there you go. Here's what I would like you to do. Please go to my website or go to Gumroad, download the free PDF. Okay, a 7-day musician's mindset reset. If there's something else on there that resonates with you, my books are for sale on my website and also on Hudson Music. They're available on Amazon. They are everywhere, so please check those out. Again, links in the comments below. If you like this video and you like my channel, please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. And I'd like to hear your comments, right? If you have something, if you're afraid of something, I'd love to hear what you're afraid of, man. If you made it all this way through the video, what are you afraid of? I'd love to hear what your fears are. If you need some drum lessons, you need some coaching, reach out to my website, bartrobley.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.